Students, in this class we are going to see about the problems on moment of inertia and radius of gyration. In the previous classes we had seen about the centroid things, how to calculate the centroid of the build-up sections like complex sections and also the normal things, right? In this, we are going to see about how to find the moment of inertia of the build-up section. Already in the theory notes, whatever I had given you, in that we can see the moment of inertia of the normal structures using first principles. So this is somewhat complex problems I'll teach you. There are some more different methods. One is like wherever we had found out the centroid, no, the same like the structures will be like this. You can find the moment of inertia of the structure. What is the second case means, there may be the second case, we have to ignore this position. Like whatever the steps we had done in centroid, the same thing we are going to follow it in moment of inertia also, but the formula will vary. We need to know about what is symmetrical structure first. What is symmetry? The symmetry means the both the sides it will be in equal thing, right? Consider this is your structure. Whether this is symmetry or not, this is symmetrical about y axis. So this is symmetrical about y axis. Consider another one diagram, another one beam. Consider this, how it is look like. It is symmetrical about both the directions. So when you cut like this also, it is symmetrical, and when you cut this portion also, it will be symmetrical. So it is symmetrical about both x and y axis. So there are two type of symmetrical things. Okay, now we'll move to the formulas first. Y bar is equal to summation of ay by a. X bar is equal to summation of ax divided by a. I11 means whenever you are considering any one section. Consider this is your structure now. Consider this is 1 and consider this is 2. So I11 also we have to find, I22 also we have to find. I11 in the case of two things means we have to take I of G1 of x, and for the second thing you have to take I of G2 of x, or else we can put it in a table form. The two methods also I had shown in this class. You can adopt any one method. Both the methods will have the same answers. One is like we are putting a table of all the values, and we are taking the summation value of summation a, summation of ay and everything, and we are substituting in the formula. The other method is we are going to directly substitute in the formula. Like if it is having two elements, this formula will be divided into first element plus second element, and if it is more element, it will go further on, increase up to whatever the elements. Okay, so after finding I11, substitute in the formula. I11 is equal to Ixx plus a y bar square, and you can find Ixx from this formula. Same like I22 will be equal to, instead of a y square, you are going to substitute a of x square. Instead of I gx, you are going to substitute I of gy. From that, substitute in the formula of I22 and get your Iyy value. If you are getting Ixx and Iy, you can easily get the polar moment of inertia and radius of gyration as well. As polar moment of inertia can be represented by Izz or I of p, which will be equal to the addition of Ixx plus Iyy. Radius of gyration means kxx or kyy according to the axis whatever they are asking in the question. If they are asking radius of gyration in x-axis, you need to find kxx. If it is in y, it is kyy. Sometimes they will ask us to find least radius of gyration. In that case, what we have to do is like we have to find Ixx and Iyy, and we have to find which is the least from that, whether Ixx is least or Iyy is least. Whichever is least, you need to find that radius of gyration. That is called least radius of gyration. In some cases, they'll ask us to find polar radius of gyration, that can be denoted by Kp which is equal to square root of ip by a. Ip means which is equal to ixx plus iyy. This is all is your basic formulas. And the other one you need to know is like this table column. Already we had seen to find our centroidal, right? Centroid problems, we had taken this same thing. In this, what is the things, right? Up to this we had used in our centroid problems like x bar and y bar values, but in this we are going to adopt only this both value. This ixx and iyy means that is I of gx and I of gy. Don't directly just substitute this as a ixx and iyy. It is igx and ig of y. Whenever they are asking some structure, see, one structure is looking like this, so that what will be the igx of the first structure? This is your rectangle and this is your semicircle. For the rectangular element, igx will be bd cube divided by 12. igy will be db cube divided by 12. That means this is your breadth and this is your depth. You need to calculate as per that. Same like if you are taking semicircle, your igx value will be 0.11 r power 4 and igy will be pi r power 4 divided by 8. So that according to the structures, you are going to define it what is igx and what is igy. After finding igx and igy, you can easily calculate your ixx and iyy. So we'll move to the first problem now. This will be easy for you to understand. Then we'll go to the next problem. See, they had asked us to find the least radius of gyration for the section. What is the least radius of gyration formula? See here. Least radius of gyration means kxx or kyy, which will be equal to ixx or iyy divided by your a. So that we need to find both the ixx and iyy. To find the ixx, what is the formula? I11 minus a of y bar square. Iyy is equal to I22 minus a of x bar square. So considering this formula, we are going into the problem. Just there are how many elements we can divide this structure into? We can divide this structure into three types of elements. One is this rectangle and the other one is this rectangle and the other one is this rectangle. Whenever we are dividing into three types of rectangles over here, we will get three different types of elements. So here they had adopted one big table method. First is your components. That means how many different type of components we are separating the whole element. So we have three different types of triangle. Now I'll define you what are the things we need to find it before. One is your components and the other one is area, that is A. Then you have to find what is y. You know, right, what is y and x? That means wherever the axis is there, from that towards the center. It will be given in your table column also. For some structures it will be differ. For the rectangle it will be equal to, if it is x, x divided by 2. If it is b, it will be equal to b divided by 2. But in some cases, that is semicircle and other cases, it will be differ. So you have to refer the table also. And distance of the centroid from x, that is y we are going to find and x we are going to find. Why? Because here we need to find the both cases of ixx and iyy. In some cases they'll ask only to find ixx or iyy. In that case you can neglect any one of the formulas according to the formulas required. Okay, so here we need both the things, so we are taking y and x. After taking this, a into y is one column, a into y square is another column. Same like a into x is one column and a into x square is another column. Then we have to find igx and igy. Where this igx and igy came? From our table which were given for the defined structures. So for the rectangle, igx is equal to b d cube divided by 12. Same like igy is equal to db cube divided by 12. These are some of the variations. Okay, then we are going to do for the rectangle and the other rectangle. So we have three different types of rectangles over here. This is the third rectangle. Sorry. We have three rectangles over here. So for three rectangles, we have to find what is our x and what is our y and what is our area. So to find out that, I am taking first this rectangle. So this area will be equal to this 100 into 10 mm. That will be the area. Then what will be the x distance? It will be equal to x divided by 2. That is 100 divided by 2, which is equal to 50. What will be the y distance? 10 divided by 2. That will be equal to 5 mm. This is for your first case. And for to find the IGX, it will be equal to BD cube divided by 12. Substitute, sorry, this is 180 mm. Substitute B is equal to 180 and D is equal to 10 mm for the first thing. If you are going to do the IGY, take D is equal to 10 and B is equal to 180 mm. This is for your first element. X is equal to half 180 divided by 2 and Y is equal to 10 divided by 2. This is for your first element. Same cases we are going to adopt it for the second and third elements. So now we are considering the second element. Second element breadth is equal to 12 mm. Depth is equal to 100 mm. So B is equal to 12 and D is equal to 100. How you will find the x distance? X means in the x axis. Here not at all mentioned which is your x and which is your y. So we are taking this as y and this is x. Okay. So what will be the distance of this one? 2 divided by 2. So that x will be equal to 1 mm. Y will be equal to, what will be the y distance? This will be equal to 100 divided by 2, that is 50, plus the remaining distance of the other element. So 50 plus 10. Got it? From the x-axis we need to find the y distance. This we will get by 100 divided by 2, that is 50. The other thing we have to add it up like 10 for the other element. So which will be equal to 60. So we got all the values. Same like we have to adopt it for the third element. For the third element, the x-axis distance is 120. That is equal to B is equal to 120 and D is equal to 10. So B is equal to 120 and D is equal to 10. How the x distance will be? Which will be equal to 120 divided by 2. So x is equal to 120 divided by 2 and y will be equal to 10 divided by 2, which is 5 mm, and from the bottom it will be equal to 100 plus 10. So which will be 110 plus 5, so 115 mm. So your y will be equal to 115 mm. That is what they had mentioned over here in this diagram. See 5, 60 and 115, that is your y and x. Then they had found according to ay square, ax square, igx and igy. We already found out all the values. Now our aim is to find all the summation values like summation of a, summation of ay, summation of ay square, ax square, summation of igx and summation of igy. We know formula like x bar is equal to summation of ax divided by a. So you can easily find out what is x bar. Summation of ax divided by summation of a. To find your y bar is equal to summation of a y divided by summation of a. So you can easily get all the values according to that. Next, our ultimate aim is to find ixx and iyy. So now we are going to find what is our ixx and iyy. That is what they had found here, x bar and y bar. Then we have to move into I11 formula. I11 is equal to summation of ay square plus summation of igx. Take the value according to the table. Already we know what is our summation of ay square and summation of igx. Substitute in the formula to get I of 11. Then substitute in the formula I of 1 1 and get your value of I of xx. Got it? This A, capital A is your summation of your area. This y bar square is equal to, substitute your y bar value into your square value. See, the summation of area is equal to 4200. That is what they had substituted here in our area formula, 4200. So capital A is equal to summation of A, and y bar already we had calculated above, so y bar the whole square. When you do that, you will get the value of I of xx. We need to find the least radius of gyration. That means I of xx also we have to find, I of yy also we have to find, and we have to just summarize that which is the least, and we have to find the radius of gyration according to that. So our ultimate next aim is to find the I of yy. We know the formula I22 is equal to summation of a x square plus summation of I gy. Substitute the value of that and do find your I yy value. In that also, capital A is a summation of a, and x bar we already calculated. So substitute every value into that and find out what is I yy. From the both the things we can come into conclusion that I of xx is the least, right? It has a less value than your I yy. So we need to find what is our radius of gyration now. I of xx is less, so your radius of gyration is equal to summation square root of I of xx divided by a. Substitute in this formula and get your least radius of gyration. Here the value is missing, so just substitute and get your value for that. This is your model of this sum. Every sum is related to only this procedure. Either they will do in a table column or they will do in a normal substitution method. So I'll tell you the other problem now. See, consider this diagram. They had asked us to find the polar radius of gyration. See, what is the formula for polar radius of gyration? Kp is equal to square root of Ip divided by A, whereas Ip is equal to Ix plus Iy, or else we can directly find out this is Ip, which is equal to Ixx plus Iyy. So we need to find both the Ixx and Iyy terms over here. Here we have three different types of components. One is your semicircle and the other two is your rectangle. So we can divide it into semicircle and two rectangles. That is what they had mentioned over here. Components is two rectangles and one semicircle. Already we know the area formula. We can take the help of the table, study the table well, because this whole module is only with the help of that table. So the area is equal to B into D for rectangular elements, and for semicircle it is equal to pi r square divided by 2, where radius is equal to 6. So substitute that 6 and get pi r square divided by 2. Then we are going to find what is our y. Why we are taking only our y and gx? See, whenever we are doing the sums, we need to find all the values corresponding to that, so that we have to find the whatever the values we need, we have to find it prior in the table column. Here, see, they had taken y bar is equal to summation of ay by a, and we have to find substitute that I11. I11 means summation of igx and summation of ay square, right? And from that we can get what is our ixx value. Same like we are going to find out for our Iyy, and we have to get the value. In this sum they had taken directly, for only Ixx they had given the table. For Iyy they had found out using the normal substitution method. Okay, if you want, you can do it here itself. No need to do it in a normal substitution. Like our previous problem, you can add a column over here for ax square and I of gy. Got it? calculate everything and find your summation value here and substitute like your previous problem. No need to adopt the same method over here. If you are finding this method as easy, you can do it as this method. Whatever you are doing, every value will be the same value, no other difference will be there, so values will be same. So whatever the convenient method is for you, adopt that method and do your sum. Now I'll be defining you this problem. The centroidal and all, you have to calculate like what is the x distance and what is the y distance. Here they, from the x axis, see they had given like 1 1 and 2 2. That means this is your y axis and this is your x axis. Sorry, this is close to your, this plane is your x axis. So what will be the distance? This will be this divided by 2 and your x will be divided by 2. For this also x is equal to divided by 2. That means how you will find the x distance? X distance will be equal to, see this is 4 divided by 2. So which is equal to 2. The remaining distance of this is 12 both the sides, and here it is 2, right? This is 12, so minus 2, this is 10. So 10 plus 2 is equal to 12. For this everything will have the same value. Find it according to your corresponding components, what is our centroidal x and y value. After that you can calculate the necessary data. So finding out the y value, according to the structures we had found what is our y value, then you can take out ay square and you can find what is our igx over here. In the problems you also can able to calculate the igy also. Since they had given according to the formulas, rectangle formula BD cube divided by 12. For the rectangle they had substituted what is our breadth and depth. For semicircle the formula varies like 0.11 into r power 4. Substitute that and get your igx value. After getting that you have to calculate the summation of every value. So y bar is equal to summation of ay divided by summation of a. Already we know the values of all the things. Substitute that and get your y bar value. I of 1 1 is equal to summation of igx plus summation of a into y square. So already we got the value. Substitute in that and get your I11 and substitute that value in I11 formula and get your I of xx. So you got I of xx is equal to 10,497.19 mm power 4. Here see they had calculated Iyy directly by I of g1 of y plus I of g2 of y and I of g3 of y. This can be also calculated from the table column. See, whenever we are doing the table, we will be calculating Ig of y separately. That means for three components, we will calculate this one and this one. We have a formula like db cube divided by 12 for Igy for rectangular sections, and for semicircle it is equal to pi r power 4 divided by 8. If you do it in table also, you will get a summation of I of g y. Then you can substitute and you can get the value like I of yy, or else you can directly substitute like I of yy is equal to I of g1 of y plus I of g2 of y and I of g3 of y. When you substitute that, you will get I of yy value. Then what is our IP? IP is equal to I of xx plus I of yy. After finding IP, substitute in our K formula, that is Kp is equal to square root of IP divided by A. So that you will get what is our polar moment, polar radius of gyration. This is only the variation. Whatever they are asking us to find in the final thing, we have to see what are the requirements first. After seeing the requirements, we have to put the table, or else you can substitute in the normal formula method and you can do this. Now we'll go to one more problem. See, this problem is an example for a normal method. There is no table column they had adopted. I'll define you like, see, determine the moment of inertia of the area shown in figure about the axis A, B and PQ. That means they had given the axis at some distance. Okay, this PQ is our x-axis and AB is our y axis. So this axis is 100-meter away from your structure and this axis is 50-meter away from your structure. Whenever finding this x and y, we need to include this 100 and 50. They had given like also determine the radius of gyration about PQ. PQ is our IXX. So that we need to find the radius of gyration KXX, which is equal to square root of IXX divided by A. Okay, they not yet given this as XX or YY. So we are substituting, instead of XX we can substitute like I of PQ and this is I of AB. The notations may differ according to your wish, but the formula should be same. Consider now, they had taken like I of 1 1, we already know what is the formula, and I of 2 2, we already know what is our formula. So what is I of PQ? I of PQ means it is I of XX, right? I of XX, to find the I of XX, see, I'll define you now. This formula is our one formula, that is I of 1 1 is equal to I of XX plus A of Y bar square. I of 2 2 is equal to I of YY plus A into X bar square. This is your one formula now. We have the axis named called PQ and AB. So I am taking I of 1 1 as I of PQ. Got it? This I of 1 1 I am mentioning as I of PQ. So what is the formula here? I of XX plus A of Y bar square. How many components we have here? 3 components. See, one is our triangle, other one is our semicircle, and the other one is our rectangle. So 3 components. So this formula has to be written in 3 times. Okay, one is for our whichever you are considering as a first element. For first element, one formula. Second element, we have to find the same thing, and for the third element we have to find the same thing. How many elements in the diagram, you have to take according to that element. If we have 5 elements in the diagram, you have to take I of 1 1 or I of PQ is equal to 5 different types of components. Here we have only 3 different types of components, so we are taking the 3 formulas. Okay, this is according to that. A1, now they are considering the first component as a semicircle. So we need to find what is our A1 first. A is equal to pi r square divided by 2. So substitute that thing and find out what is our A1. A2 is equal to your rectangle component, that is B into D. Substitute your B is equal to 50 plus 25 plus 25 and D is your 50. So you will get 5000. Then you have to find what is our A3. A3 is equal to triangular element, so that it will be equal to half into B into H. Substitute in that formula and get all the 3 values. After getting all the 3 areas, you need to find summation of A, which will be equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3, which will be equal to 7231.75 mm square. Till that is your area got over. Then our aim is to find x and y values, right? For that we need to find what is our y value now. Y is equal to the value from the x axis. Got it? So y of the first element will be equal to 50 plus 50 divided by 2, which is equal to 75 mm. Y2 is equal to same 50 plus 50 divided by 2. Y3 is equal to 50 plus 50 plus 50 divided by 3. Why? Because h by 3 from the base. Right? According to the formula, you need to calculate what is your y1 value. How they had taken this y1 value? Why they are adding the 50 means it is from the x-axis. Already the components are 50 mm away. So you have to add the 50 plus the other thing is 50 divided by 2. For the next thing it will be equal to 50 plus 50 plus 50 divided by 3. That is what they had mentioned here, your y value. Now you had find out y1, y2 and y3 correspondingly for the components. Then you move to the formula of x1 and I of x2 and I of x3. That means for 3 components you need to find. See, in the formula we had find out your y1, y2 and y3, area 1, area 2 and area 3. Now the other thing we have to find is I of x x1, I of x x2 and I of x x3. This is equal to I of your gx value. So we know already for the rectangle it is equal to bd cube divided by 12. Substitute that formula and find out for one rectangle element, one semicircular element and for one triangular element. After finding, substitute that in your IPQ formula and take out your value as IPQ is equal to 52.03 into 10 power 6 mm power 4. This is for your x axis, that is I of PQ. Same you are going to do it for your I of AB. Where is your I of AB? I of AB means it is your y axis. For this you need to find the distance from the axis, that is 100 plus. Before in the problem you had calculated like 50 plus 50 divided by 2 and 50 divided by 3. Here you have to add this 100 because it is 100 mm away. That is what they had mentioned over here. After calculating your I of PQ, you need to do it for I of AB, which have a formula of I of y1 plus a1 into x1 bar square. You need to find what is x1, x2, x3. Area is a common thing already we had found. IYY means what is IGY value? I of GX is equal to BD cube divided by 12 for rectangle. Then IGY will be equal to dB cube divided by 12. Same that you have to calculate for the semicircle as well as for your triangular element seeing the table. So we'll get all the values, substitute in the formula of I of AB and get what is our I of AB value. Then they had asked only the moment of inertia we need to find for the both the things, and they had asked us to find the radius of gyration of I of PQ. So substitute your I of PQ formula divided by A. The square root will give you what is your radius of gyration. This is the other procedure. One method, like we can adopt all the methods of doing. One is your table method and the other one is your substitution method. Both the things I had covered. So whichever is easy for you, you can adopt that method. We'll see one more problem now. Okay, see this problem. For the cross section shown in figure, calculate the MI about the centroidal axis parallel to the top edge. Also determine the radius of gyration. Our ultimate aim is to find the radius of gyration in any axis. They not had given mention anything. They had mentioned only like parallel to the top edge. Parallel means which will be equal to I of x, right? Parallel means we have to find what is our I of x6 and we have to find out the radius of gyration corresponding to I of xx value. That means radius of gyration which will be equal to the square root of Ixx divided by A. Here we have three different types of components. 3 itself a rectangular component but of different sizes. So we are substituting like 3 components rectangle, 3 rectangles. Area we are going to find out separately according to the values, and we are going to find out what is our y value. Why? Because we are going in a aim to find only our Ixx value. If you want to find Iyy value, you need to calculate your x also, but here it is not required, so we are going to find only your y value. Y value means it is a distance from your x axis considered for your first element, that will be equal to height divided by 2. So first y is equal to 25 divided by 2. What will be the second y value? This is equal to 35 divided by 2 plus this 25, right? So for the y of 2 element, which will be equal to 25 plus 35 divided by 2. For the third element, what will be the y distance? Y of third element, which will be equal to 25 plus your 35 plus 10 divided by 2. Okay, so these are the things to calculate your y value. After finding your y, you can easily calculate your a of y and a of y square. Then you have to find what is our I of gx, because we know the formula, right? According to the formula, we have to calculate what are the known things. I of gx value for the rectangular element is equal to bd cube divided by 12. correspondingly you need to substitute what is our B and what is our D. See here, that is very important. For the first thing, B is equal to 25 and D is equal to 25. For the second element, B is equal to 15 and D is equal to 35. For the third element, B is equal to 100 and D is equal to 10. Substitute according to that and find your I of Gx. After calculating everything, you need to know about the summation of A, summation of Ay, summation of Ay square and summation of I of Gx. Substitute in the formula. For y bar, summation of Ay divided by summation of A, get the y bar value and substitute in I of Aa. This I of Aa I had taken since I am mentioning that axis. If you are mentioning as I of 1 1, that is also same. So I of 1 1 is equal to summation of I Gx plus summation of Ay square, get of I 1 1 value. Then substitute in I of 1 1 value and get your I of xx value, where capital A is equal to summation of your A value. Then you want to find what is our radius of gyration. That radius of gyration is equal to square root of Ixx divided by A. Substitute and get your radius of gyration. This is our ultimate aim. This is like overlapping of the other problem, so no need to do this. Up to that is your answer. So now we are going to do the other problem, that is, this is somewhat complex, right? Determine the moment of inertia of the section shown in figure about the horizontal axis. So what is the thing we need to find out now? About the horizontal means we need to find out I of xx. If it is a parallel to the top edge also, it is equal to I of xx. Also find the radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is equal to square root of I of xx divided by a. It is like your previous problem only. Like your previous problem, you are going to find out for the all the elements. Now only we have to separate the different types of elements. Now we have G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6 and G7. So which will be equal to 7 different type of elements, but everything is our rectangular element. Area you can calculate it very easily because it is equal to B into D. Now I'll tell you how to calculate your y distance. Okay, y distance will be equal for your G6 and G7, your y value will be equal. G4 and G5, your y value will be equal. For G2 and G3, your y value will be equal. For G1, it will be differ. For G7 and G6, your y value will be equal to 20 divided by 2. For G5 and G4, it will be equal to 20 plus 260 divided by 2. For G3 and G2, it will be equal to 20 plus 260 plus 20 divided by 2. For the G1, it will be equal to 20 plus 260 plus 20 plus 30 divided by 2. This will give you the y value for corresponding elements. So that is what they had mentioned over here in the table. After that, you have to calculate what is our ay and a of y square. Then you need to find I of gx. I of gx formula is equal to b into d cube divided by 12. Substitute everything and find out your summation of a, summation of ay, summation of ay square and summation of igx. Substitute in the formula of y bar and you do for IAA or I11. Then substitute that value to find your I of xx. After finding your I of xx, substitute in the radius of gyration formula to find out your k of xx, which will be equal to square root of I of xx divided by a. So that which will be equal to 117.74 mm. This is up to this is your normal method. Now we are going to do the other one more method, which will be like the centroid is passing through the area. This is the other method. Here the problems like the formulas will differ. Okay, what is the question? You have to see differently and you have to do according to that. See, in the question they had given like determine the radius of gyration for the area shown in figure along the horizontal x-axis and y axis passing through the centroid of the area. what they are mentioning is like the horizontal axis and your vertical axis is passing through the centroidal area. That means your capital G. They are passing through the centroidal area. If the question comes like that, that is passing through the centroidal area means if it is passing through the centroidal axis, that means your formula will differ. That means your formula will change like I of xx is equal to summation of I of gx plus a of rx square. Okay, this formula will differ because it is acting in the centroidal of your axis. This formula you have to study it because xx is equal to summation of I of gx plus a of rx square. We know to calculate I of gx which is given in the table column, but we need to find what is r of x. So that only see, now we have to put a table of components. Area we know to find, y also we need know to find. I of gx is equal to bd cube divided by 12, and I of gy means it is ulta db cube divided by 12. R of x is equal to y bar minus y. How you will calculate your y bar? Y bar is equal to summation of ay divided by summation of a. After calculating your ay, you need to substitute this and find out your y bar first, that is 71.3 mm. Then you go for finding your rx, which is equal to y bar minus y. So substitute that and get your rx value. Here they had mentioned here as separate element. You can always take it from the summation value also. If you are taking in a summation value, which will be equal to summation of igx plus summation of a into rx square. Here they had mentioned into two different types because only two elements are there, so they are just substituting into two elements, that is I of gx of the first element value. See, I of gx is of the first element is equal to 8333, so they are substituting that, plus a is equal to 1000 for the first element, and r of x value they are taking from the calculated value. Substitute that for the first element and add it for the second element. If you are not getting like that, put as a table and find out your summation of rx value. Okay, summation of rx square value. Find out your summation of rx square and directly substitute to I of xx is equal to summation of igy plus summation of a into summation of rx square. When you do that also, your value will be same. So you got what is our ixx value. I of yy is equal to summation of igy. Already you had calculated what is our igy. So from that you can easily take out what is our summation of igy. Take it, that will be equal to I of yy. So radius of gyration is equal to both the along the x-axis, which will be equal to square root of ixx divided by a, and along your y-axis it will be equal to summation of square root of I of yy divided by a. According to the given question, if it is acting in the centroidal axis, you need to do this method. See, one more problem I'll define you like determine the polar radius of gyration about the centroidal axis of the section. They had given that the centroidal the axis is moving along the centroidal portion. So the table should consist of your Rx value. Here we have 1, 2 and 3 elements. The 3 is our rectangular element. So directly substitute your 3 elements, find your 3 area, distance I hope you need you know to do, that is y, and you find your igx and igy according to the formula. Rx means y bar minus y. Find out your y bar first, that is summation of ay divided by summation of a, and substitute that value, that is equal to Rx. Then you do for the other thing, summation of I of xx is equal to do for the first element, do for the second element, and add for the third element. So you got 3 elements over here, so add it up all the 3 and get your I of xx. I of yy is equal to summation of I of gy. So whatever the value you got from the table, you directly substitute in I of yy. Why you are not doing separately for I of xx and I of yy means they had asked us here only to find the polar radius of gyration. Polar radius of gyration means I of p, which will be equal to I of xx plus I of yy, and substitute in polar radius of gyration, that is kp is equal to square root of ip divided by a. So ip we already got, a we already know, that is summation of areas. Find out your polar radius of gyration. This is the method to find your radius of gyration and moment of inertia, whatever they are asking. The other method, whatever we are going to see in the next class, is like, if the structure till now we doesn't have the reduction part, right? All the structures will have the whole components, but in the upcoming sums we can see, if the structure have the reduction part here, that is this part has to be minus, means what we have to do in that method, the same method only, like the centroidal, we have to consider the whole component and we have to put the negative symbol for the other component, so that we'll get the other structure whatever we need to find. Same like your centroidal, we are going to do it for the radius of gyration also. Do study this method very carefully, so that it will be very easy for you understanding the next topic. Only one more topic is remaining in this module, so do concentrate in the every other module and try to practice more and more. Thank you.